everybody. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Fan Feed Network podcast on this July 31st, 2025. And it's Thursday night. First Thursday night football game we've had in months.
Oh, thank God.
We're back, baby.
Never been so excited for a preseason game.
Dude, I am so amped to watch Lambert Smith just dominate. Let's go. We are the only NFL show powered by delusional optimism, logical pessimism, and real fans who can spot a fraud from 30 yards out.
Plus some extreme bias.
100%. All the time.
All the time, baby.
I'm Cameron. This is Trey. And today we're running our Contenders and Pretenders show. We're going to talk about which teams are legit, which teams are lying to us. We're also going to hit all the latest team news and training camp hype. And we'll mark each story as either hype or cap. Cool. Plus, we pulled a few of you guys' hot takes that you submitted through the hot take hotline. So if you guys are riding with us, hit the follow button, drop a review, or send us your team's hottest take on all of our socials. You can DM us at FanFeed Network, and we'll make sure to feature you. The best and the worst takes we'll get on this show. We're all about fan takes. So with all that being said,
cool.
Let's get into it.
I got a question for you really quick.
Let's hit it.
Yeah. So you're married.
Yep.
Obviously. If your wife says, "Hey, this is mine," like this snack or this drink or something like is mine, what, if any, is the appropriate time, the length of time to when you are entitled to have that beverage or that snack?
Never.
Never?
Is the right answer. Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't do that. Unless it's been sitting in the fridge for like say my wife gets a drink or something that she drinks half of.
Let's talk about like a Gatorade.
All right, Gatorade.
She gets a Gatorade and says,
"Gets a Gatorade.
Cam, this is mine. You can't have it."
If it's sat in the fridge for over a week, then I'll probably ask about it.
Yeah.
But Gatorade's not usually the thing I look for. If it's something that I'm interested in,
sure.
I'll wait a week, but then I'll ask her.
What if it's unopened?
Oh, yeah, I can't touch it.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Why do you ask this? What is the purpose?
So earlier this week, this happened.
Is she in the room with us?
No, she's not in the room with us. My wife, 6 months ago was like, "Don't touch this Gatorade."
Right.
And I said, okay. And earlier this week, we didn't have anything but water. And I was like, I've got a little taste for something. Like I've got a craving for something else. So I went and I grabbed that Gatorade, and my wife was very adamantly like, "Hey, put that down." And I opened it and I drank it. And you're now the third person that I've asked this to, and everyone has said the same thing. So I think I owe my wife an apology. So sorry, baby. I love you. I'm so sorry for drinking that Gatorade.
I'll share it. We have an outdoor garage that I've turned into a multi-purpose room.
Yeah.
And we've got a fridge out there. And so usually that's where we keep all of our extra drinks and stuff. So my wife, I'll get her the little tiny Coca-Cola bottles. And so she's had them sitting in there for a long time. And about 2 weeks ago, there was one sitting in there and I was hanging out. So I was like, man, I could really use a Coca-Cola right now. Yeah. I drank it. Literally the next day.
No way.
My wife was like, "Hey, did you have a Coca-Cola last night?" I'm like, "What? How did you know?" Are you counting them? What is happening right now?
There's less mass in this area.
And so, sorry, baby. I'm sorry I drank your Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
But
so my wife's reasoning for this, and I get it now once she explained it, but she likes to have it in case one of us gets sick. And, we need electrolytes or something like that, so we don't have to run out and go to get something from the gas station or whatever. I didn't understand that at first. And she's like, "Great. Now you created another, another errand that we have to run." And, I understand now. But, I guess I won't be doing that anymore.
my wife's like that,
anyways,
too. It's okay.
Yeah.
We love our wives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They've eaten stuff of mine, too. My wife has.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So I wanted to start out because Twitter has been buzzing recently. Buzzing. Obviously with all the training camp hype and everything, but there was something I came across this last week that I've got to go on a tangent here. Okay. I got to talk about freaking Eagles fans.
Oh, man.
I'm looking at you. All right, good job. Y'all won the Super Bowl last year. That's awesome. But I came across a series of tweets, and people were talking about this a lot, comparing Jalen Hurts to
Newton.
Cam Newton.
You like his name?
Who, Cam Newton?
Yeah, you
love
like,
his name.
Yeah,
Love his
I
name.
bet you did.
I remember watching the national championship with Cam Newton. It was the first time I had ever seen him play.
Yeah.
And I was rooting for Oregon, and of course they lost. Cam Newton was just so good, and I was, whatever. I was a kid. But, dude, Cam Newton was a dog, and I think we all forget this about how good he was because he played with the Patriots those last couple years and was just abysmal. But people are comparing, especially Eagles fans, comparing Jalen Hurts to Cam Newton right now, saying that Jalen Hurts has already surpassed him. And we got to turn back the clock really quick and talk about that 2015 Cam Newton MVP season.
Oh, my gosh.
That was the year they went to the Super Bowl.
Unreal.
Lost to the Broncos. Cam Newton that year had 3,837 yards, 35 touchdowns versus 10 interceptions.
That's crazy.
He then added 636 yards rushing with 10 extra touchdowns. 45 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
Is what he accounted for that year.
Yeah.
Let's talk about his receivers. He was throwing to Greg Olsen, legend.
Yeah.
Greg Olsen's a legend.
Great.
I'll give you that. But then
definitely on the back end of his career at that point.
Sure. He was getting older, 100%. Still had a good year. I think he broke 1,000 yards, but he was definitely older. Because Cam Newton.
Yep.
But then you had Ted Ginn Jr., who was a colossal disappointment coming out of college. Corey Brown, or Philly Brown, to those who remember.
Yeah.
Devin Funchess in the young stages of his career.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Trash.
Yeah.
Jericho Cotchery,
yeah.
ex-Steeler. Woo woo. But man, this was his receiver core.
Yeah.
And they made the Super Bowl, right? They go and play Peyton Manning and the Broncos. And the only reason they lose that game, it's not because of Peyton. Because Peyton was at the tail end of his career.
No, I mean,
Peyton played not a very good game.
They ran to a buzzsaw of a defense.
It was a generational, probably one of the best defenses we've seen since the 2000 Ravens.
Any other team they would have met in the Super Bowl, they would have wiped the floor with them.
Prime Von Miller.
Yeah. Prime
DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah.
Chris Harris Jr. and Aqib Talib on the outside. I mean, that defense was legendary.
Yeah.
And you remember them.
Yeah, I remember.
That's your team.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
You put Cam Newton on that 2024 Eagles team.
Yeah.
And, of course, they're winning the Super Bowl. I know they won the Super Bowl, right?
They might be undefeated.
They would be undefeated.
Yeah.
Like that
I mean, Cam Newton, that team was 15-1, right?
15-1.
Like going into the playoffs.
15-1.
Yeah.
You put Jalen Hurts on that Carolina Panthers team in 2015.
Yeah.
I don't think they get nearly as far. And so I'm saying this just to extend my hand out to you Eagles fans and give you this chance to just set down your swords. You look really silly right now.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is good. I love Jalen Hurts, but he is no Cam Newton. And please do not disrespect Cameron Newton. All right.
And he's not there yet. I mean, he could get there.
He could get there.
Jalen Hurts could get there.
I'll give it to you. He could get there.
I love Jalen Hurts. I love him as a quarterback. Like I think he's so cool. He's definitely very vibey.
Yeah.
He's got the swagger to him. He threw a dime in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Like he's good. Like he definitely is good. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like he had nowhere near like the Cam Newton stats.
If Cam Newton had A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith
and
as his receivers, and Saquon Barkley, and Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
I mean, all these guys, if he had these weapons, like, that's just insane. I don't know. It's to me, it's just not even close. I think you guys are delusional. This is an easy debate. The Twitter is just going nuts with it. We're going to stop there.
Yeah.
Let's move into some of the team news. We'll hit some of these injuries. And really, guys, football is so back.
Yeah,
football is so insanely back because week 1 of training camp, and we already have a massive amount of injuries.
Dude, the list of injuries, and we don't even have all of them. We don't have all of them that are listed here today. But just some of the big names that are out there. Joe Mixon, he's out for an extended period of time. We don't know how long he's going to be out. Matt Stafford's dealing with a back issue. I think McVay said like 4 to 6 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, I think they're kind of playing it week to week, but he should be ready by week 1.
Okay, yeah. Okay, great. I mean, Najee Harris,
a Twitter rumor that turned out to be true.
Yeah.
That he had an incident with fireworks, and now nobody can see his eyes. Like,
man,
he's wearing glasses and ski masks.
So crazy. Chris Godwin, Justin Jefferson, Justin Fields, which Jets fans don't have to really worry about that. They're saying like he's going to be back by week 1. Isaiah Likely. I saw a rumor I don't know if this is true that they were working on a contract like the day before he got hurt. Yep. Like literally the day before it comes out that they're so close to the deal being done.
And I think it was a similar contract to what Jake Ferguson just got.
Yeah.
Which Ferguson just got paid.
Yeah, he got money. He deserves it. He's such a good tight end. Oh my gosh. Jake Ferguson.
You love Jake Ferguson.
I do.
I'm not there.
What?
Yeah,
Are you
I'm
serious?
not there. Not there.
I mean, I think he's a better Dalton Schultz.
He's definitely better than Dalton Schultz.
Yeah,
I'll give
but
you
Dalton
that.
Schultz was so productive.
But Dalton Schultz is down here.
Well, now, yeah. I'm just like, okay, Cowboys Dalton Schultz.
Yeah.
He was very good. And could be a product of Dak.
Sure.
I don't know. Anyways, I do love Jake Ferguson. I think he's so good.
it.
Yeah. Darnell Mooney, he's got a shoulder. He's on track to be back for week 1. Maxwell Hairston, the first round pick.
rookie.
Yep, first round corner for Buffalo. He's out for the season.
Actually, they showed that it was an LCL sprain.
Oh, thank
so
God.
he's it's a weird injury, very rare.
Yeah.
So they still haven't given a timetable on his return, but they're hopeful that he won't miss nearly as much time as an ACL.
Because then what do you do if you're Buffalo? He was supposed to play. He was supposed to start opposite of Benford.
Yep.
And then I don't know who fills that gap.
Yeah, I don't.
I have no idea what I mean, obviously.
They're already thin. So.
Yeah. So, sorry, Buffalo. Let me see. Broncos, we got 3 linebackers that are injured right now. It kind of turned into a good thing, but...
Weak.
Yeah. Alex Singleton, he broke the tip of his thumb. I heard somewhere or read somewhere that he, broke it off, and they're going to just, club it up. But he's, on track to play next week against... 49ers when they come and do
He didn't need that thumb anyway.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, not for what he's doing. He can use half a thumb. I can still be just as effective. Dre Greenlaw, he got banged up today. But Sean Payton came out and said he's fine.
Okay.
It's nothing really terrible going on there. We had another guy, Drew Sanders. He's having a rough go of it too. Man, so that linebacker core is all of a sudden what was supposed to be a strength is now very weak. They'll be fine by week 1. I'm not concerned about it. But actually, it's kind of cool because there were reports out of the Denver training camp that this guy, he was undrafted last year. His name's Lavelle Bailey. He's having an insane camp.
Is that your cousin?
Yeah, it's my guy. Yeah,
Lavelle.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So funny. Cody Barton, linebacker, and Lavelle Bailey.
That's my cousin.
My cousin, yeah.
Yep.
Man, so crazy.
Grew up with him. Crazy.
Yeah. But he's been stuffing the gaps, and he's been that guy. He's just showing up, stopping J.K. Dobbins, your guy R.J. Harvey. He's just
Quadzilla.
shutting them down. Yeah. Anyways, your guy Walter Nolan on Arizona, he's out.
Hopefully not too long.
Yeah, just a calf injury. Christian Gonzalez in New England. I actually think he's the second best corner in the league.
Yeah, I'd say he's close.
So
he's in
good.
the top 5 easily.
Yeah, he's so good, and so man,
hamstring injury is not good.
Yeah,
but I think they did say that he's day to day. So it's not week to week.
But you just don't know with the hammy.
You never know.
Justin Jefferson, 2023, he was only in 10 games with a hammy, and he's got a hammy again now too.
Yep.
So I mean, those things can just linger, and you just hope that
especially for those corners and receivers who need to be more twitchy.
Yep.
That's not a good injury to have at any time of the year.
Yeah, I mean, Miami, I feel bad because, both of their corners are out for the year with ACLs.
What is that guy's name?
Wait. Oh, my gosh. Duck. Something that Storm Duck.
That's their number 1 corner right now.
That's legitimately what his name is Storm Duck. Crazy. That's so crazy.
I hope he's a dog.
I hope he's so... I would buy a Duck jersey. Oh, my gosh.
100%.
Dude, I would buy
a Dolphins jersey that says Duck on the back? Yeah, 100%.
My gosh, that'd be so crazy. That Jalen Ramsey trade... all of a sudden is biting them.
Yeah, quick.
Holy cow.
Quick.
Man, you wish you had Storm Duck next to Jalen Ramsey. Man, that's unstoppable.
About drafting some extra secondary help, but it is what it is.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, we can get past the injuries. There's a lot of them. Anyways, Malik Neighbors didn't even name him. You know, Dayball's saying that he's going to be fine, but a lot of big names that are already injured, and it's first week of pads. It's so crazy.
Football's back, baby.
Football's back, baby.
Everybody who's been drafting early in fantasy football leagues is just ripping their hair out.
Yeah.
This is why you always, you try to wait until at least 2 weeks before the season starts. Even then, your heart's going to get broken, but at least you miss out on some of these bad injuries.
When is yours scheduled?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have many that will start because I'm in a lot of dynasty leagues.
Yeah.
There's no drafts for those. But then the redraft leagues, I don't think anybody's talked yet about when those dates will
Yeah.
start, but gotta start thinking about it soon because
Yeah.
we're already in
We're doing
August is tomorrow. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
We're back, baby.
Yeah, we're back, dude. It's so hype.
So we were going to talk about some contract stuff. I don't think anybody's really interested in hearing that. Some guys got paid.
Yeah.
One big thing, Trey Hendrickson is reporting back to camp. So that's a good thing for the Bengals. Very, very good. They did sign Shamar Stewart.
Yeah.
So that's also a good thing.
Trey Hendrickson, he was getting fined $50,000 a day. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
Unreal.
That's crazy.
Every single day. I get why he's back now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not getting paid, and now you're paying to not come to camp.
And I think he talked too about not trying to affect the team with the holdout, still wanting the team to win. So, hats off to Trey, but they need to pay him.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude is a dog.
He's so good.
And then another big thing that I love, Noah Fant to the Bengals. And you have a unique perspective on Noah Fant as a Broncos fan.
Yeah.
I have a unique perspective on Noah Fant as a huge fan of him coming out of college.
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
Also a huge fan of him coming out of college. So stoked. We traded with you guys. We traded back in the draft to 20. I think that's when you guys took that linebacker.
Devin Bush.
Yep.
Trash. Garbage.
Well, no Fant also trash. No Fant also trash. He had some really explosive plays. He was fast, but man, you could, the wind would tackle him. You just, any kind of arm bar tackle would take him out. He just couldn't break through anything. My goodness. He just for whatever reason could never. I don't know. He just couldn't get the tight end position down. He wasn't a good blocker. He was, he's a good receiver. I really wanted him to succeed. I had a Noah Fant jersey. I loved him coming out, man. But man, the first few years he was with Denver, I was just this sucks. It's never going to happen. It's literally never going to click. And now I'm stoked we have Evan Ingram.
Right. Yeah. You definitely upgraded. No, I just feel bad for Fant because he was just he played with Hawkinson at Iowa.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that they were on the same team.
They both went first round that year.
Both went first round that year.
Yeah.
Noah Fant just had that look. He looked just like Gronk.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's what got him drafted so highly. But, man, even then in college, he was, he was pretty productive. And he was a good pass catcher, good playmaker. That was what, the Broncos thought they were getting. It could be that the Broncos were just trash at the time they drafted him. Because I don't know who the quarterback was at that
Drew
time.
Lock.
Was it Drew?
Yeah.
He didn't get a fair shake. And then with the recent coaching regime up until Sean Payton, you have a bunch of knuckleheads who don't maybe know how to develop that tight end position.
True.
So, Noah Fant then went to Seattle.
He was also with Pete Carroll.
Yeah, and didn't really do anything with Pete.
What's his name? Mike something. Oh my gosh, what's the
Mike McDonald?
Yeah. And it was blanking.
And didn't really do anything there. So it's exciting to see him with Burrow, a true pocket passer, gunslinger quarterback. But it's going to be a weird committee because they already have Mike Gesicki.
Right.
And so Mike Gesicki profiles more as a pass catcher, less of a blocker. And they still have Drew Sample, who is he's basically an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
And so it's just going to be a weird committee. He's still probably not going to do much, which is sad for me. But there's a lot more hope playing with Joe Burrow and having Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on the field.
Yeah.
So let's transition. We're going into this is the segment I'm most excited for today. Our training camp hype. Dude, the hype is in.
Yeah.
People are chirping or, buzzing about all the stuff that's going on in all these practices all over the place. So what we're going to do, Trey, we're going to go through a couple different headlines, if you will, of what's been going on in training camp.
Cool.
We're going to stamp each one and give our take on it. Do we believe that this is hype, this is true hype, or is this cap? This, no way. They're lying. And I'll say this for everybody because training camp hype is so easy to get into and get excited about. One thing I've learned is don't just give into the hype when somebody says, oh, yeah, this guy's running with the ones, running with the ones. You hear that all the time. I think everybody runs with the ones at some point in training camp. They're trying out different scenarios.
Yeah, you want to see that's your time for development.
Right.
In the middle of the season, you're not developing guys. Like
Yeah.
so you just want to see what you've got with your number one team.
That's right.
And in the middle of the season, they're just worried about staging their game plan for the next game. That's all they care about.
Yep. So the big thing to pay attention to and read the signals on is usage. How are certain players being used? Where are they lining up at? And what's that look like? So that's just a tip for everybody out there, because I know training camp can be hard to navigate. Every year it seems like we have these guys in training camp who we hype up so much and they never do anything.
Yeah.
And you got to stay grounded, but also be excited. It's okay. We talked about this last week. It is 100% okay to be excited and go out on a limb and say this guy's going to be a dog. And
one of our writers, he said Dak Prescott's going to be in the MVP conversation. Right. I don't agree with that personally. I don't think he's going to be out there. Sorry, Seamus, but I want him to believe that. I want everybody to have hope for their team, because that's what makes fandom so fun. Is you just living on a prayer, and then if it sticks, it's kind of like gambling, right? It's like you hope that you actually hit that parlay. Some of them are not realistic, but the ones that you do hit, you're like, oh my gosh, that's it's just what's so fun about sports.
Yeah, it's the beauty, especially too, of a new season.
Yeah,
is that last year is gone. It's a brand new year, and anything can happen.
Yeah.
So have hope. But let's dive into this. We're going to start with a troubling one. It's the Jaguars running back room. So as of right now, per camp reports, it's looking as though Tank Bigsby is the RB1. ETN is more of the RB2 / splash play back. And then you've got Bashal Tootin and LaQuint Allen kind of competing for that third spot.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on this?
I actually believe it. I actually believe that Tank is taking over. They've been very how do I want to say? I don't know. They don't seem very bought into Etienne anymore. It seems like they were for first 2 years, 3 years, whatever it was, and then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, they're like, let's try out some other guys. I don't think they think he's their guy. They're bell cow back. I think he is a good pass catcher. I think that he's going to do a lot of that, and maybe some of the third down runs. But I do think they're trying to really squeeze out of Tank what they can right now while he's still kind of younger, and then also just handcuff him to Etienne at the same time.
Yeah.
So I actually believe this.
Yeah. So the hype. I'm. So Bigsby, I do believe in. I like Bigsby. I think he's good. I think he deserves to start over ETN. I'm a big Bashal Tootin guy.
Yeah.
Big Bashal Tootin guy. Ran a 4.32, super athletic, just an explosive play waiting to happen. And so the way I see this shaking out, I think, honestly, ETN's going to get cut or traded.
Wow.
I think, like you said, I'm with you. I think the new regime is not enthused with what they have. And ETN's got a little age on him, and he's had some injuries, and he just doesn't have the juice he used to. And Tootin has the juice. He's a similar build to ETN, but has the juice. And so I could see a Tank Bigsby Tootin kind of combo, but I think at the end of the year, who you're going to want is Bashal Tootin. That's where I'm looking at. So I'm going to say it's hype for now, but it will be cap in the long run.
Yeah.
That this isn't the full picture. Let's stick with the Jaguars.
Cool.
Travis Hunter. This has been one of the most debated players in all of the offseason since the draft, because he's the first two-way player in quite a while since Dion and Troy Brown for the Patriots. Shout out Troy Brown. So there's a lot of talk of him playing on defense a lot, and then all of a sudden the past couple days there's been some good reports about him playing on offense. And one in particular said, in one-on-ones, Travis Hunter looks like the toughest player on the team to cover. And that's with Brian Thomas Jr. in the fold. So what do you think, hype or cap?
I think he looks like that. Sure. I mean, he did that in college. One-on-one, you just throw him up the ball, right? And he seemed to come down with it all the time. I buy into this too. I'm not saying he's gonna be the toughest player to cover, period. But I mean, my stance on it. I gave a hot take last week that, he's going to be the offensive rookie of the year. Right. He was my pick for it. So I could see this. I could see this happening. Brian Thomas is so good. He's so good. So that is a little bit of hesitation where I don't think he's better than Brian Thomas yet. But I think that he could be close. I think that could be an insanely crazy 1-2 combo for your wide receivers. Like you're talking about like 1A, 1B. You're not talking about like two, like Brian Thomas being a 1 and then Travis Hunter being a 2. I think that they are both like number 1 receivers.
Yeah.
So
I love Brian Thomas. Like,
yeah,
he was a guy that I was not as high on coming out. I mean, I still really liked him, but with all the receivers that came out last year, he was not like one of my top guys, and he was probably the best rookie receiver outside of Neighbors.
Yeah.
And so love Brian Thomas. However, I'm going to go on record and say that I think Travis Hunter is going to alpha Brian Thomas.
Whoa!
I think Travis Hunter is going to be offensive rookie of the year.
Let's go.
I think that's definitely in play. He may not be, but I think that overall, within a year or two, Travis Hunter will be the focal point of the offense.
I agree.
Because Brian Thomas, the way he wins, he's a bigger bodied receiver and he's a deep threat.
Yeah.
And if you look at his stats from last year, the first half of the year was pretty conservative for him. And it really didn't happen until the middle to the end of last year that he started dominating. And Trevor Lawrence was out at that time, and they had Mac Jones playing. And Mac Jones was literally slinging the ball like 40, 50 times a game and just chucking the rock. And he had one guy to throw it to because everybody else was hurt or trash. I think Travis Hunter is going to play that role of, running those more available open routes while Brian Thomas runs more difficult routes. Mm-hmm. And so I think Travis is going to have a lot more opportunities for receptions and bigger plays. So I still think they're both going to be good. Like, I'm still very in on Brian Thomas Jr., but I think Travis Hunter is that good that he is going to be the number 1 in Jacksonville before long.
I think so too. And, you and I talked about this already. I don't remember if this was on the pod. I don't think it was last week that we talked about this, but I think the way that you handle Travis Hunter, if you want him to play both positions, is you set him up for offense first, and you let him run as a receiver, and you kind of trickle in some defensive plays throughout the year. Year 2, maybe you bump that up to maybe like 20% of the defensive plays, and year 3 is really where you can put him in like 50% of the plays to 70% of the defensive plays. And you just kind of ease him into it because he did it in college. Yeah, maybe this guy has like, 2 sets of lungs. I don't know like how he does all this. But, it's the NFL is a different beast. I mean, you see all these really good college players come out and they just can't cut it in the NFL. So I think you got to be really delicate with this situation. Yeah. And, I think that's probably the best way to handle it. And, I don't know, man. It's gonna be crazy. Like, I'm excited to see like what his extension is gonna look like.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
insane.
It's gonna be insane. I mean, his rookie contract was already ridiculous.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, to see like, is he gonna get 2 salaries? I don't know.
He might as well.
Yeah.
I mean, so and I'll share this really quick before we move on because I think this is really good information for everybody out there. Number 1, there is a Twitter account called Coach Speak Index. They record all the coaches' press conferences and what the coaches are saying, and they keep track of everything. And there are like so many coaches and players on the team, on the Jaguars, who have all said the exact same thing. He never gets tired. He never gets tired. Then you think about it from a game theory perspective. If you're the Jaguars, why are you trading up to spot number 2? And this is something I read from a guy named Jacob Sanderson. So shout out Jacob Sanderson. If you want to learn more about football, follow him on Twitter. But Jacob talks about the fact that you don't go up and trade into the 2nd overall pick in the draft, trade all that capital to draft a guy that you're going to play 50-50.
Yeah, true.
You're going to draft him because you believe you can play him
70
to 70.
Yeah,
75 to 75. And so just in that way, there's good reason to bet that he's going to play 65 to 75% of the snaps on both offense and defense. Shohei Ohtani was a guy that we didn't see coming. We had never seen anybody like him. He was a unicorn, and now he's worth what?
$700 million.
$700 million.
The rich man.
Travis Hunter's coming in as a two-way player. We don't see this very often. And I'm just going to be the one to go out and bet on the upside.
Yeah.
To bet that he can do it. And if he's wrong, then oh well. It's just another player that, if he doesn't do it, I'm just wrong. That's okay. But if he hits, I want to be there early.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Because we got some interesting news, and this has been a fun one. So Kyle Pitts obviously has been a huge disappointment. His rookie season was good, 1,000 yards in his rookie season.
Yeah.
But since then has had a very abysmal couple years after being propped up as an elite tight end talent. Michael Penix.
Do you think he is elite?
I don't know if he's elite. Because we see Brock Bowers, and Brock Bowers played with some pretty bad.
That's true. Gardner.
Yeah, he played with Gardner and Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell. That's true.
I know Pitts had Arthur Smith. That's the X factor, and I'm not a fan of Arthur Smith, even though Steelers baby. So Penix came out in an interview the other day, and first thing he said was, "Y'all see that boy Kyle Pitts catch that ball?" or something like that. And he said basically,
"Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of that." So now we get to see Kyle Pitts have an actual quarterback potentially. We're still kind of waiting to see with Penix, but he played pretty good last year. What do you think? Is this hype or cap? Are we back in?
Cap, absolutely.
No?
Cap. We heard this exact thing last year. Kirk Cousins said this exact thing. I remember because I logged this away, and I was like, all right, I'm going to listen to Captain Kirk here. He said, draft him for your fantasy leagues. That's what he said. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that is what he said. I actually do believe that Kyle Pitts can be an elite tight end. I genuinely believe that. I don't know that I trust him with really what would be, a full, not a rookie, but a full first year starter. He's got a couple games under his belt, but I don't know. Like he is going to be the safety blanket probably for Penix, but I don't know. I'm not banking on Kyle Pitts being like a top 5, top 3 tight end in the league this year.
Well, hold on to your seatbelts.
But
I got something for you later.
I think he could be.
But I'm with you. Like I'm pretty much out on Kyle Pitts. Although it was a small sample of data last year with how many games Penix played, I think it was 3.
Yeah.
It's going to be the Drake London show in Atlanta,
I agree.
I'm so here for that. Like, oh my gosh, I love Drake London so much.
And the running back. Do you know how to say it? Yeah,
Bijan.
It's Bajan. That's what he said.
Like
you saw
Bijan
that
mustard.
Too? Yeah,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to say it. Is because I wanted to hear you say it first.
I think I actually heard about that when he was coming out of college into the NFL, and he
Really?
said something about that, and then everybody forgot because Bijan just sounds more fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bijan.
Bajan. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Pitts. Pitts. I still believe is a good talent. I think he's an upper talent, like tight end in the league. And I'm not going to rule out that he could break out late. This will be year 4. A lot of comparisons to Vernon Davis, who dominant with the 49ers, but his first 3 years were very similar. Very down, not very good. People were kind of out on him. And then he just exploded on the scene. Tight end is just one of those positions that's extremely hard to learn. And
it's multiple positions.
Exactly. And in Kyle Pitts' favor, I don't think that they ran him much as a blocking tight end at Florida, and he could cook those college corners because they are college corners.
Right.
The NFL is a totally different beast, and I think they had him blocking a lot more in his second year when Arthur Smith came in. And so I could see it, but I'm still going to side with you. This is cap.
Yeah.
This is 100% cap, and Penix just trying to prop up his guy, which respect to Penix.
As he should. I mean, you should like hype up everybody that you're working with.
So we've got what I'm going to call the 3 horsemen.
Okay.
The 3 horsemen. These are 3 running backs that are popping off right now in training camp hype. And so I'll just say their names first, and
Sure.
we can go through each one. Bashard Smith for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, otherwise known as Bill, for the Washington Commanders. And then Jaden Blue with the Dallas Cowboys. So let's start with Bashard Smith. Right now, the hype is he's been lining up as a receiver and running with the ones in the red zone offense and making plays. Like every day, the Chiefs, like beat reporters, are coming out and just have glowing reviews about this guy.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
I buy it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I buy the hype on that.
The Chiefs, hater,
So
likes this?
Yeah, I hate the Chiefs. I do hate the Chiefs, but if you've got talent, you got talent. It's the NFL. So I mean, you love to see like new quality players like coming out and like just who is this? Like who do I want to target from the Chiefs this year in my fantasy leagues? You know what I mean? You can't be biased when you're doing fantasy, so you got to look at this kind of stuff. Their wide receivers are totally banged up. We forgot to talk about this during the injury report that we did. But Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown, both of them got injured this week.
And Rashee Rice with the suspension, because I don't think we talked about that last week. But there's a suspension looming.
Yep.
Probably 4 to 6 games.
Yeah.
And
he's going to jail for 30 days.
Yeah.
That is happening.
Whenever he wants, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, those two will probably coincide. He'll probably be suspended while he's in jail. But besides that, I do buy this. I think he is making plays, honestly, because he has to. They don't have anybody to throw it to. They got Travis Kelce out there. But when Isaiah Pacheco was coming out, there was also a lot of this coming out where they were saying, Pacheco is the guy, like he's the guy. And, I didn't believe it at first because I was like, they're not going to let some 7th round running back, I think he was 7th round, come and beat Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Like, I just don't see that happening. And he did. He came and beat him out for the job. So if they're also saying this, like this guy is, Bashard is looking better than, Isaiah Pacheco, then I believe it. I have no reason to not believe that coming out of there.
So you're feeding into the hype.
I'm feeding into that.
Come here. Give me some.
Yes. I know that's your guy.
Yes.
That's your guy.
I freaking love Bashard Smith. Bashard Smith was a guy that, after seeing some of the stuff that people were writing about him coming out this year, he just seemed like such a perfect fit for the Chiefs, how they play.
Yeah.
And, the biggest thing I want from the Chiefs is to see that explosive offense come back. I think it's good for the league to see that explosive offense come back. Makes it way more fun and entertaining. Ever since they got rid of Tyreek and Travis Kelce started getting older, they just have been less explosive and more like the Tom Brady Patriots where they're game managers.
Right.
So they go and draft Bashard Smith way later than I thought he was going to go. I can't believe he lasted till the 7th round.
Crazy.
Bashard Smith ran a 4.39 40, which is blazing fast.
Yeah.
He's a former wide receiver who converted to running back in his college career. He's just very slippery and athletic, makes guys miss. He comps very similarly to Jerick McKinnon. In that Kansas City Chiefs offense.
Yeah.
So if you remember, and this is old Jerick McKinnon, because the real ones remember Jerick McKinnon playing with the Vikings.
Yeah.
And he was nice. And he had some good seasons with the Chargers, the Chiefs. But he was that explosive option out of the back. Who have they had to pass to in the backfield the last couple of years? No one.
Yeah, good point.
You got Pacheco, and Pacheco is a decent pass catcher, but he's still kind of like a weird runner. He runs so weird, so angry.
It's like every
brother, chill out. You made it. It's okay. I just think Bashard Smith is going to be a really useful piece in that offense, and I think especially with the players they've gone and brought onto the team. They go and get Worthy. They have Rashee Rice, who's kind of taken over that Kelce role. They drafted, oh my gosh, what is his name? It's not Jalen Knoll. It's another guy. Forgive me, guys. I can't remember his name. But he's a really fast guy coming out of college as a receiver. Then they draft Bashard Smith. You can see what they're doing. They're trying to build back up the speed to help this offense get some more life into it, because that's how they failed in the Super Bowl this last year. Mm-hmm. They were, playing that passive game manager role, and they couldn't do it against the Eagles because the Eagles blew them out early on.
Yep.
And so
you have explosive plays from the Eagles.
Exactly.
And you just,
I'm very big on Bashard Smith.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, I was just gonna say, like, if you're playing like more dink and dunk type football, it's gonna take you forever to go up and score. And if you're a team like the Eagles who can score, 15 seconds, that's end of the game right there.
100%. And I can see them playing like a gun with two backs in the backfield with Pacheco on one side and Bashard Smith on the other, and doing some RPOs with it. And I just think it works so well. So really excited about this injection of youth and speed in the Chiefs offense. All right, second guy, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt has been standing out in camp, running with the ones. He goes by the name Bill, by the way, which is hilarious because his name is so wild. Yeah. It's so long. It's so hard
William.
to say. It's Bill.
Yeah.
He goes by Bill. And I watched the video. Basically, he said his friends called him Little Bill, growing up, because I guess he had a bald head. So now everybody just calls him Bill, and he likes it. So he got drafted in the 7th round by the Commanders. Yeah. Commanders only had like 4 draft picks this year. And so they go out and invest in running back. Mm-hmm. Their depth chart consists of Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler, and that's really it. I mean, there's a guy, I don't know why I'm forgetting everybody's names tonight, but
Alfred Morris.
Yeah. Robert Terrain.
Yeah,
what is that guy's name? Yeah, I think that's him. But anyway, do you know much about this guy?
No, I know. Yeah. Let me have it.
You want me to hit you? All right. So once again, I'm a sicko.
Cool.
Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt is a very interesting prospect.
You mean Bill?
Bill.
Yeah.
Bill. Ran a 4.45, so pretty good speed. 41-inch vert, which is pretty elite. He was 5th in the NCAA in touchdowns in 2023. 5th overall. So 17 touchdowns. And his 2024 season, he played 1 game due to eligibility concerns. So listen to this. This is nuts. This is why the NCAA sucks sometimes. He played at Alabama State originally in his freshman year, and he redshirted that year. He swapped jersey numbers with another player on the team at some point in the year. I don't know when. I think it was early on. And apparently the NCAA didn't register this at all. So when he went to play his senior season at Arizona with Tet, he would have been the starting running back. The NCAA basically suspended him, that he was not able to play because he had already redshirted his freshman year technically, because they had all these plays associated with his original number in his freshman year. So this guy basically had 2 freshman years. And it's a dumb eligibility issue that the NCAA messed up.
I think the NCAA can relax.
Yeah,
I think they can.
I feel like they could go back and watch highlights. Well, I guess Alabama State probably doesn't have many highlights. It's like old Nokia flip phones, and you can't really tell who's that number 8.
Yeah. Quick note: Tet doesn't like to be called Tet, right?
Oh yeah, you're just hitting me with all the names.
He's listening right now, probably.
Tet. I'm gonna keep calling you Tet because Ted Arroyo is just harder to say.
T-Mac. We'll stick with T-Mac.
I'll call you T-Mac. I like that.
Like Tracy McGrady.
Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, T-Mac.
One of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Yeah.
So Bill is he's got great burst, good one-cut runner. His long speed isn't, the best, but he's got that burst. So he's got a quick jump. There's a analyst for NFL.com named Lance Zierlein. Lance Zierlein does film grades for every college prospect coming in, and he is notoriously good at ranking running backs. He had Ja'Cory as his 8th best running back in the class, which puts him only behind Caleb Johnson, put him ahead of Cam Scatabo.
Wow.
So, very high ratings for a guy who went in the 7th round.
Yeah.
Zierlein had him as a 5th round running back. To me, just my take, I love this. I was getting him in all my dynasty leagues because he was free. Nobody was drafting him because nobody knew who the heck he was. And the thing that was going through my head is B-Rob, while B-Rob's pretty good, Austin Eckler's old. B-Rob is more of a grinder. So they needed a speed back. And there was a guy on their team, number 26, and I cannot remember his name.
Clinton Portis. Come on, man.
I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he had a couple good games last year, but he was a guy with some juice, had some speed. And so now you bring in Bill. I think Bill's got a chance to play in year one and play some meaningful snaps.
Yeah, I think that he could get some snaps, like you said. I mean, the odds are one of those guys is going to get banged up at some point, and he's going to have to come in and play.
Yeah.
And, maybe they do have a couple small packages, just for him,
right,
where they say, yeah, you come in and on, first, second down, let's see what you got on this drive, and, that kind of thing. I mean, if you're asking me, I think they're still going to roll with, Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler as their 1-2.
Yep.
But I think 2 years, 3 years down the road, he could be the guy.
Sure.
I think that they're trying to wait until the end of, Brian Robinson's contract, and then by that point they can probably just cut Austin Eckler, and then this is your guy.
Exactly.
Hopefully, at least for for Washington, that's probably their hope, is that he can turn into that guy.
The odds are low, but never zero.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah. I watched a lot of Washington games last year because living in Virginia, that's just the team they always have on.
What's on? Yep.
And I was very impressed with how they used so many running backs.
Mm-hmm.
They used 4 or 5 different running backs through most games. Maybe not everybody got meaningful touches, so that's why I see him getting touches. And I just think Eckler's at that point where he's about to kind of age out.
Right.
He's about to hit a wall. We see running backs, especially past 30.
Yeah.
Unless they're elite guys, they typically taper off really hard, and so that's what I'm betting on. So I'm going with hype on this one.
Yeah.
And you guys can argue with me later. And the last guy and the three horsemen is Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue, the rookie from Texas, going to the Dallas Cowboys. Do you have any thoughts on Jaden?
Yeah, I'm interested because I also heard a couple things, and I could be wrong, but I heard that Deuce Vaughn is also having a good camp. And so
are you reading last year's news?
No, I'm reading this. I
could have sworn I read that back last year.
I kind of want to see Deuce Vaughn though. I mean, it'd be cool to see Jaden Blue. I love rookie running backs. I love when they play. When they're good enough to come out and play. And so I think that this could be legit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what they're doing in that backfield. I'm not excited to see it. I've got to be completely honest. They don't have Zeke, right? But I could see them signing Zeke back again because that's what Jerry Jones loves to do.
I don't think Zeke's got anything left in the tank.
They got Javonte Williams, and that guy, he looks like he runs with wet jeans on, man. It's hard to watch.
And because you're a Broncos fan.
I'm a Broncos
fan.
fan.
Sat through it last year.
Yeah, last couple years, yeah. Ever since he blew up his knee, man, he's been, a shell of himself that's
understatement.
An understatement for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited about Jaden just because of that poor running room. Once again, a lot of these guys, I wouldn't normally be that excited because I don't think they're all elite talents.
Right.
But I think they have good traits that lend well to their situation. And running back is all about finding situations.
That's what I was going to say is they're all coming into good situations for them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because if you put them on another teime, you put them on the Ravens, for instance, you're not ever going to say Jaden Blue is doing well behind Derrick Henry.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So Jaden is once again another fast guy. Ran a 4.39, I think. And there were a lot of reports early on in camp, even before camp started, that Jaden Blue is extremely lazy. And so for me, because I liked him coming out, I was like, crap, no, don't do this. And now all of a sudden it's changed. And Coach Brian Schottenheimer just recently comped him to Darren Sproles. Which is a very interesting comparison because Darren Sproles was a small but very juiced up, fast, effective running back, especially a change of pace back. So you've got Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Jaden Blue.
Forgot Miles Sanders is
Miles
over there.
Sanders. And a guy named Phil Maffa, who's another rookie, just a big lumbering guy. Not a very good player, but big. Jaden just has the path is right there for him. He's the only guy that's got juice. And we talked about this last week, and some of our hot takes have talked about Dak being MVP contention,
Right.
because they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. Well, that bodes really well for Jaden Blue because he is a very good pass catcher. You know, he's not as good running in between the tackles because he's a smaller guy, but he's a pass catcher. He's a scat back. And so I think he's going to have a decent shot at having some value this year. So I'm riding the hype train. I'm riding the hype train on all three of these guys, and y'all can't stop me.
Yeah.
So a couple more. Rome Odunze.
Yeah.
We got some news out of Bears camp. We're going to hit two receivers, Rome and Luther. But first
Okay.
we'll go with Rome.
Sure.
Rome, Ben Johnson has said that he's a prototypical X that has been very impressive and very detailed in his route running. As you remember, Rome, high pedigree receiver, first round guy last year. And he was first round, right? Yep, first round. And didn't really do a whole lot last year, but that whole Bears team was a mess.
Can't blame Rome Odunze for last year.
Where are you at with Rome?
I actually like him.
Yeah.
I did draft him last year, hopefully to keep him as a keeper, for this year. I do like it because I think Ben Johnson is going to transform this offense.
Yeah.
And I think that he's going to do well. I think Luther Burden, your guy, I think he's going to do really well. Even at like a number 2, opposite of Luther Burden, I think that Rome Odunze is going to have a much better year than what he had last year. And I think that it's just going to look like, he improved 75% of what he did last year, that kind of thing. So I'm buying this.
Yeah.
I like this. I like the Bears, man. Like I'm slowly jumping on that Bears bandwagon, and I'm starting to really like it. I think their defense is going to be nice, and now their offense is like really starting to take form. I think Caleb Williams is really going to step into his own, and Rome is going to be a beneficiary of that.
Yeah, I definitely think that Rome is going to probably be a little bit better than last year. Hard to be much worse. I see the situation there is kind of interesting because they have so many good receivers. They got DJ Moore. They got Rome Odunze. We're about to talk about Luther Burden. We haven't really talked a lot about Colston Loveland.
Yeah.
Colston Loveland is a very good tight end. I mean, back a couple years ago, people were debating whether he or Brock Bowers was the best tight end in college football. I mean, that's how good he is. And they drafted him at 12 overall.
Right.
And so they're loaded with pass catchers. But I think that there is going to be some turnover with this new regime. And I really think that DJ Moore is going to be the one who kind of is the one who's on the outs. So that's going to give Rome that ability to play on the X, play on the outside, play that role. Let's hit Luther.
Cool.
I think it's time, dude.
Okay.
As everybody knows, last week I hit my hot take on Luther Burden.
Yeah.
Bears wide receiver, won by the end of the year, top 15 overall.
That's crazy.
It has been atrocious, leading up to this point, because he got hurt, soft tissue damage,
Stepped on a ball.
came to first practice, stepped on a ball, was out for practice. He just returned to practice about 2, maybe 3 days ago.
Just in time for pads.
And then there was reports that Ben Johnson had kicked him out of a drill because he didn't line up properly.
What do you think about that?
I got you. So it's exactly what everybody was saying Luther needed coming into the NFL.
Okay.
Was for coaches to challenge him.
Yeah.
And so this is where you got to read between the lines. Don't believe everything you read on Twitter.
Right.
Because people were trying to turn it into this big thing. Like, everybody was saying that day, Luther's dead. Like, the dream is dead.
Okay,
it's over.
thank you. Oh, my gosh.
And it's
thank
so
you.
stupid.
Yeah.
Because, we probably shouldn't have all this access to these teams' practices like this. This is like behind the scenes stuff. But Ben Johnson he wouldn't do that if he didn't care.
Right.
Right. It's a coach that shows he cares and wants to push a guy, to the next level. And Luther needs that because, Missouri, that was some of the issues, but Missouri they didn't have the coaches to help him. And I don't think Luther respected the coaches, but I think Luther already, he was asked, what he learned. And he said, well, Ben is running a tight ship. I learned that because I lined up wrong and he kicked me out. And so that's the standard. And I got to, rise up to the standard.
Yep.
So since that time, it's been nothing but highlight catches and hype and Bears beat reporter saying that they found their new slot receiver. Dude, it's happening. That's all I have to say is that it's happening.
I would only say pump the brakes a little bit because we talked about this at the beginning of the show.
No brakes.
At the
all gas, no brakes.
Training camp. Training camp doesn't really mean anything until they put it out there on the field. So that's where I would just like hesitate a little bit. I want to love him for you. Like now I'm like drawn to him just because of you. Like now I'm like, okay, I'm going to go draft him late and hopefully, none of the people in either of my leagues are watching this,
You can get him very late.
Yeah. He's going to go high.
Yeah.
In ours. Like everybody,
you think so?
Everybody picks the rookies because everybody wants to keep them.
He's like the latest rookie.
Yeah.
Like he goes behind Jaden Higgins.
Wow.
I mean, pretty routinely.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyways,
he's back.
It's training camp.
Yeah.
Buy into the hype. I want you to buy into the hype.
I'm gonna have my fun.
I'm gonna pump the brakes a little bit.
I got clear eyes.
Yeah.
Heart
Full
full
hearts.
of joy. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
But no, it's happening, and there is a stat. Looking back, I shared this with you on Twitter about Ben Johnson's history with his slot receivers.
Yeah.
And every slot receiver he's had, other than Danny Amendola, because
Danny
Amendola sucks. But every slot receiver he's had has hit over 1,000 yards and been top 15 in receptions. So exactly what I've been telling you guys about. It's happening. I'm just saying it right now. And so, yeah, super stoked.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to let you talk about this one.
Oh, boy.
R.J. Harvey.
Yeah.
Did you hear what Sean Payton said about R.J.
Sure
the other
did.
day?
Exceptional. That's the word he used.
And there was a play that he made that,
Yep.
What did he say? Like made everybody turn their heads?
Yeah. So that play in particular, what it was basically supposed to be like a 5-yard loss. Like defense blew it up. They blew through the line, everything. RJ essentially turned into like a 20-yard gain. Like, and you can see when Sean Payton gives out these compliments, you really want to like listen because like that's when he tries not to get too excited, but sometimes it just slips out a little bit. And so so when he says the word exceptional, you really need to like listen because what he's telling you is like, this is our guy. Like we found him. This is it. Training camp. So I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit too. We didn't even talk about this last week, but the Broncos also have J.K. Dobbins on the roster. And what's coming out is that this guy's he's a beast. He's a dog. Like he's, the Broncos offense doesn't have a whole lot of chirping. Bo Nix probably honestly is like the one guy that's going to like talk to the defense. I mean, we saw with Max Crosby last year, just getting back in his face. But apparently J.K. Dobbins is like just like giving it to like the defense, like the Broncos defense, like when it comes to like the trash talk and stuff, which is good. They need that kind of thing. I'm only bringing that up because I think that it's going to be hard to really take away that number one spot from J.K. Dobbins. Now, notable history of injuries with J.K. Dobbins.
Lack of knees.
Yeah.
And muscles within the knees.
You can pretty much bank on him getting banged up at some point. But man, I want R.J. Harvey. I wish R.J. Harvey would just come out and they would just say, yeah, he's our number one. I'm excited about it. I'm looking at R.J. Harvey jerseys, seeing which colors I want. I'm excited about this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you know me. R.J. Harvey is our guy.
Yeah, our guy. Our collective guy.
Our collective guy. I had no idea he was going to go that high in the draft. But man, like I just love the fit.
I'm of the belief, like, if you have a guy, just go get him.
Yeah.
Who cares where you draft him? Like, if that's the guy that you see on film and you're targeting him and you don't really have, like, a certain grade on him, and you're just like, we love this guy. We're not going to take the risk to lose him. I mean, that's just what I think about any team. That's what they should go do. The Jags wanted R.J. Harvey. Should have gone up and gotten him. Yeah. That's just what I believe.
Yeah, especially in the later rounds. I think that's a great way to play it. Early rounds, I'm definitely more take the best player available.
Yeah.
But like RJ was just such a great get for them. They knew they needed offensive weapons and especially running back after, they lost Javonte, their stellar workforce.
Yeah.
But
there's a couple good running backs in that room. good.
Decent.
Jaleel
Good role
McLaughlin,
players.
Audric Estime.
Yep.
He's still like the youngest running back in that room. He's like 22
I think he's 21 now.
or 21. Yeah,
yeah. He was really young.
He's a beast. Have you seen how big he is?
Yeah,
this
he's
guy
huge.
is a monster. Like, he
Huge.
looks like the Hulk out there. It's crazy. Yeah, but you got Jaleel. You got Tyler Bidet.
Right.
He's good too.
Tyler Batty.
Yeah. And then I mean, it's actually like a pretty. It's an okay running back room.
That's the part that scares me
Yeah.
is having so many guys because Sean Payton loves to use so many
Yeah.
different people. So that's the only thing that scares me if you're playing fantasy football going for RJ Harvey is that, I still, like you said, I still think J.K. Dobbins is going to have a significant role. And as long as he stays healthy, he's going to get his 15 touches a game.
Yeah.
I think Harvey is going to have close to 15 touches a game, but they're going to be more valuable because it's pass catching stuff.
Right.
But they're also going to sprinkle in McLaughlin and Estime on short down and distance and even some Tyler Bidet. I mean, Sean Payton talked about Tyler Bidet last year, was it? And talked huge, glowing reports about Tyler Bidet.
He was good, man. At some point during the year, he was averaging 10 yards a carry.
That's crazy.
And it wasn't just he had two rushes for 20 yards. It was a significant amount of carries,
Yeah.
and he was he was so efficient every time he touched the ball.
Well, and it also helps having that offensive line. Great offensive line.
Tell that to the other running backs who were averaging 3.5, 3.2.
Well, Javonte Williams was dead, so
Yeah.
Audric Estime's too slow.
Yeah.
Even though I like him. So let's move on. Our
Cool.
last guy for this hype or cap takes is none other than Anthony Richardson. Weird turn of events here. Anthony Richardson drafted extremely highly. Was he the 103 in the NFL draft? I think he went right
I don't
after Stroud.
remember.
It was Bryce Young.
I was like, no, it was not that late. He was
or 104 maybe.
he was
because Will
fourth
Anderson
overall.
was 103.
Yep.
And he's just a raw prospect. Great athlete, raw prospect, not a good passer.
Well, and this is what I talked about this with so many people before the draft even happened. I talked about this with so many people. I was like, okay, this guy was not even ranked like up there, and then all of a sudden he has a good combine, and then he's shooting up people's boards,
Right.
and then he's in the top 5 picks. I don't know. That blew my mind. I feel like you could have seen this coming a mile and a half away. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy to me still that he went that high. I mean,
everybody's chasing that Lamar Jackson or
Yeah.
Cam. I mean, he really felt like a Cam Newton
Newton.
archetype.
Yeah.
He's like Jalen Hurts or Cam Newton, big guys who, very strong, can throw the ball. He's got a rocket arm.
Sure.
I mean, the dude can just launch it. But he's fast too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's lightning fast. So that was exciting. And they thought if he could play with Steichen, who was Jalen Hurts' former offensive coordinator, that they could, kind of train him up. Hasn't gone well. So the Colts go and sign Daniel Jones, which you're waving the white flag when Daniel Jones gets signed. So all offseason, people have been expecting Daniel Jones to be the starter. Then they get into camp, and Daniel Jones is so bad that they turn back to Richardson, and Richardson has
Who
been,
knew?
Throwing some dots. What do you think? Hype or cap? Is it Anthony Richardson? Are we back?
No. The Colts are not back.
There's nothing to get back to. Anthony Richardson's never been good.
Earlier, a few weeks ago, I told you the Colts would be, one of the worst. I said the Titans would be the worst team in the NFL. But the Colts, I think, are going to be the worst team in the NFL.
Wow.
They're going to be so bad. They have some good pieces, and I think their defense is actually really stingy. I like them, but I don't know. Like you said it yourself. When you sign Daniel Jones, you're waving the white flag. That means you don't believe in what you have in Anthony Richardson. And my gosh, I don't. I mean, your bar is so low. If your bar is Daniel Jones and then Anthony Richardson is coming out and performing better than Daniel Jones, that doesn't mean anything. It just means,
Now you know who your backup is.
Yeah, exactly. It just means that you're a little bit better than trash.
2026 can't come fast enough.
Yeah, right. Looking at number 4 next year.
That's right.
That's what's happening.
Right.
So
yeah, I could definitely see them being a top 5 pick next
Yeah.
year. And the good thing for them is, like you said, they have a lot of pieces. Like if they could get a decent passer in this offense, like I could see the offense being very productive.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor at running back.
They're wasting Jonathan Taylor.
I know. Michael Pittman Jr. and Josh Downs, who had a breakout year last year quietly. Of course,
Tyler Warren.
And Tyler Warren now on the team.
Tyler Warren,
straight out of VA. Shout out Mechanicsville. Woo woo. Yeah, I'm going to call cap on it, and Anthony Richardson's going to have to prove all of us wrong. It's training camp throws.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen these training camp throws before with him.
It's like Caleb Williams and Luther
it's something
Burden.
about in the game, his processing is not up to speed. We saw the same thing with Trey Lance.
Yep.
Which Trey Lance is probably playing right now, so I hope Trey Lance is balling because shout out Trey Lance, former North Dakota State University. But that's it for our hyper cap segment.
Cool.
All right, so now we're going to move into our hot take hotline. We got a couple hot takes from you guys.
Yeah.
Once again, if you want to get in on this, this is going to be a recurring segment. So if you want to get in, shoot us a message, a DM, tweet at us at FanFeed Network. You can share your hot takes there. And we're not asking you to come and give us the take that's going to be right. We want to hear your heart. We want you to follow your heart. We're going in. I mean, I'm going against the grain, rooting for Luther Burden, dude. Everybody's counting out Luther. I'm not. I'll stand strong. He's still going to be top 15. So, you ready for these?
Let's go.
All right. So, number one, I've got this from Hung Huang, a guy in one of my fantasy leagues. And he said this: Kyle Pitts will finish as the tight end 3 overall. Michael Penix finally unlocks him. So, shout out to Hung. What do you think, Trey? You were just talking about this a few minutes ago.
Yeah,
that's why I said hold on tight.
Yeah. We already talked about this. I don't think he's going to be a top 5 tight end in fantasy, as much as I would love to see it. I don't know. A lot of things have to go right. And, I mean, you can look at the Raiders and say, the Raiders, they had the number 1 overall tight end last year in Brock Bowers with trash quarterbacks. But, I mean, you said it. It's going to be the Drake London show. It's going to be the Bashard Robinson show. And I think that really they're going to try to feed those two over Kyle Pitts, because you had all these rumors coming out, this year that he was going to get traded. And I think where there's smoke, there's fire. Usually when those things come out, from several different people, it's probably because it's true. So I think that the Falcons are out on Kyle Pitts.
Oh, wow.
I
think the Falcons have given up on him?
I don't know. I think they didn't receive an offer that they thought was worth it, but I think they would have traded him for sure. I think that's where they stand. So why would you make him such a part of your offense if you're planning on trading him? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. You got, I mean, in my eyes, if you're throwing the ball, you got. Okay, not me personally. If I'm there, if I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm targeting that guy, every other throw. I mean, he's so big and he's so fast. Why wouldn't you do that? But I don't know. But when you have Darnell Mooney had a resurgence last year. You have, like I said, Drake London. You have Bijan Robinson that's gonna run the ball like crazy, and he's really your safety net. Just swing him out wide and toss the ball to him. So, sorry.
No.
Sorry, Hung.
So I'll say this. I can see it happening. I can see the path. We talked about Darnell Mooney being hurt. So don't know how long that's going to take. I think he's supposed to come back week 1.
Yeah.
With some injury help, I think Kyle Pitts could be a top option in this offense. But right now it's Drake London. Darnell Mooney came back last year and had a great season. Even Ray McLeod had a great year last year playing in the slot. And so one thing with these receiving tight ends is that for them to be successful, they have to be better players than the slot receiver on their team.
Exactly.
And so when their slot receiver is producing better than the tight end, usually the tight end gets left out in the cold. I.e., let's look at the Buffalo Bills with Dalton Kincaid and oh my gosh, who's that little receiver? Khalil Shakir.
Yeah, Shakir, yeah.
So Dalton Kincaid came out, everybody was hyped about him, and he's in a Josh Allen offense, so he could easily dominate just because Josh Allen's so good.
Yeah.
But he's not better than Khalil Shakir. Khalil Shakir is a slot god. and so Kincaid's kind of found himself like on the porch steps. Plus, he might not be very good, and so I could see the path happening if Pitts can be better than Ray McLeod, which that can't be hard, right? But the way that offense was schemed last year, Ray was getting pretty open most of the time. So it'll be interesting to see. I still disagree with Hung, but shout out to Hung, dude.
Yeah,
good
shout
call.
out.
I love it, dude. I love it.
Thanks for the hot take.
Yeah, 100%. So, all right, I got another hot take from Brian Sapino. Brian's a big Chargers fan. I know he's watching the game tonight to see his boys.
Yeah.
He says that Keandre Lambert-Smith, wide receiver for the Chargers, is going to put up 800 yards and 5 touchdowns this year.
Oh, my gosh.
This is the guy we didn't talk about in the training camp hype section, just because if we talked about everybody who was relevant, we'd be here for probably 3-4 hours. But this guy's been making tons of plays. 5th-round rookie, I believe, out of Georgia, maybe. I don't know. I'm guessing. What do you think, Trey? Is this hot?
That's spicy. It's hot.
Spicy.
Yeah. 800 yards, and it's the 5 touchdowns. Yeah. That's a lot. So, I obviously have a lot of context with the Broncos players, but I think about Jerry Jeudy. Like when he came out, arguably the best route runner, to come out and supposedly generational, route runner when he was coming out of Alabama. He comes out and I think the line for his touchdowns was 5 or 5.5 or something. And so even Vegas was it's probably around 5 or 6. And he scored 3 touchdowns his rookie season. So that's where I have some hesitation. I think the yardage is there, but I also think that Herbert's just going to feed Lad McConkey. I think that's his guy. I think that's who he's going to go to. And then outside of that, I don't know. Maybe Najee Harris gets a lot. I think Najee Harris could be the number 2,
sure.
Receiver on that team, legitimately. Maybe. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. But if you really believe it, go put some money on it right now. That's
he probably already has.
Yeah.
Knowing him,
I hope you win it. I really hope you win it.
Yeah. So Brian, what are you thinking? First off, this take doesn't even make sense because if he's going for 800 yards, Keandre Lambert-Smith, they're going to be deep balls. So he's going to be scoring a lot more touchdowns than 5. So, if he's only scoring 5 touchdowns, it just doesn't make sense. Number 2, did Trey Harris die?
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't even think about him.
Did Quentin Johnston die, dude?
Well,
Quentin Johnston
he may
back.
as well.
Oh, no. Quentin Johnston will never die. This is his year. You haven't seen all the hype around him?
Training camp.
Yeah, he's playing great.
It's training camp.
He's still body catching, though.
You put him on a field, all of a sudden he can't. No, I did see one clip of him. Hit him right in the hands. Boom. Just dropped it. Man, this guy, there's something wrong with him, man.
Man, I had
he's
so much hope.
Afraid of it.
I had so much hope.
Me too. I did draft him. I drafted him as a rookie.
I drafted him too.
Yep.
I drafted him in a rookie draft.
Maybe that's why
first round pick.
Maybe that's why I don't like him. It's just because I'm dude, this guy sucks, and I wasted a pick on him, and he's on the Chargers.
Yeah. He just can't catch. He's a body catcher, and you can't do that as a receiver in that level.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. He's playing good right now in training camp. We'll see how this comes to fruition. They do have some open vacated targets with Josh Palmer leaving, and they need somebody opposite Lad McConkey. I think Lad and Trey Harris is going to be a really good duo. Rondé Gadsden, the tight end, I'm really excited about. They also have Tyler Conklin. It's just a lot of people there. And a Marion Hampton.
Yeah.
Najee Harris, I'm not worried about. It's a Marion. And
but also we talked about this last week too. And Jim Harbaugh likes to run the ball.
Sure.
I mean, how many games last year did Herbert have 150 yards, 130 yards? Not because of anything other than they're just running the ball a million times a game.
It's crazy. That's how people perceive it. But they actually, after halfway through the season, they started launching
picking it
ball.
up.
They were passing it a lot.
Yeah.
That I still agree. And now that they have a running back, I think it was a function of Dobbins being the running back and kind of battling injuries. And I don't even know who they had behind him other than Kamani Vidal, training camp god from last year. But I do think they want to grind it out. But you're right. Like if they're running the ball heavy, even if they're running close to league average, then there's not going to be that many pass attempts to account for all these guys, unless Trey Harris dies and something happens. I just don't see it happening. Yeah. So thanks for the
longer we talk about it, the more I'm like, nah, this guy's gonna have 200 yards.
Yeah, thanks for the take, Brian. You stupid idiot. Just kidding. I love you, Brian. Hope you're enjoying the night, dude. So I have another one. This is from Drew. I hope I'm saying this right. Pollinger. So Drew is a big Buccaneers fan.
Cool.
Big Buccaneers fan. He said, I'm not sure if this is a hot take, but I think that the Bucs will not only win their division again, but they will win the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
He says they are going to finish as a top offense. Baker will throw for over 5,000 yards and 45 touchdowns. They will have 2 1,000-yard receivers, and the defense will be the most improved defense in the league.
Wow.
We're going to take a break. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
What do you think, Trey?
Woo.
Hot.
I think
Drew understood the assignment.
Yeah, it's hot. I think parts of that are feasible, like winning the division. I think that even that, I don't know. I don't think Baker's thrown for 5,000 yards. I don't think they're having 2,000-yard receivers. They barely had 1,000-yard receiver this year.
Right.
They're going to lean heavily on Bucky Irving, which, man, I love Bucky Irving.
Bucky's a dog.
Man, he's so good.
I was so wrong.
Yeah, they're not winning the Super Bowl. Their defense could be good. I mean, but unless you're talking about going from, I don't know where they were ranked last year, but
they were a wild card team.
No, I mean like their
defense overall ranking.
I don't know where they are. I mean, unless they go from whatever
really
that was
bad
to number 1.
Yeah.
Like they could be the most improved, but that doesn't make you a Super Bowl contender. If you go from, let's just call it like 32 to 20,
yeah,
like that's most improved, but that doesn't mean you're like hanging in there with the big dogs.
Yeah.
I feel like the Bucs are exactly what they were last year. They could make some noise. They could maybe win a playoff game, but I don't see like them getting past the Eagles.
Sure.
In the NFC, I don't see them getting past maybe even the Commanders.
Right.
if they play as well as they did. But yeah,
that's a hot take.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. There's multiple layers of hotness in that one.
Yeah. No, I don't think the Buccaneers will win the Super Bowl. There would have to be a lot of things that go right.
Yeah.
You've got Baker, who had a career year last year, uncharacteristically, like statistically, just way outperformed what he was expected to perform. You'll probably hear me talk about this a lot, but regression is coming. Regression comes for us all.
Yeah.
And regression just means we go back towards the mean. So you can go positive or negative with regression. Baker is going to negatively regress back to the mean and probably be around like a 30 touchdown guy. I still think Baker's good. I just think last year was, a one-off for him because he's never performed anywhere near that good.
Right.
You have the coaching change, which everybody's going to say, well, Baker's never had the same offensive coordinator. He's a dog. I get it. But you're playing with fire. I mean, you went from Dave Canales 2 years ago down to Liam Cohen, and that's just a generational lucky changeover coaching wise. I don't even know who is their coach right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I couldn't tell you. That just shows that I'm a bad host, and I didn't really research this take before trying to trash it. So, Drew, I could probably be wrong. You might be right, but I just think it's wishful thinking to think that transitioning coaches for the third time in the 3 years, that you're going to sustain success and even go beyond that success in a new head coach's first year. So
I want him to believe it, though.
Yeah.
Wait,
no, Todd Bowles is the head coach.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles is the head coach.
But we were saying OC, right?
OC. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sorry.
Yeah.
So anyway, Drew,
believe it.
Go for it. Like I'm not rooting for you because Steelers, baby. But this is the time of year to have your bright eyes and bushy tail. We've got one more hot take. Thank you for giving that to us, Drew. One more hot take, and this is from one of our writers.
Cool.
So our Giants reporter, John Ewald.
Yeah.
Yeah. John, he hit us up just last minute with this one.
Yeah.
Had to get it in,
Yeah.
which respect, John. John predicts that Russell Wilson is the 2025 NFL Comeback Player of the Year and will sign a multi-year offseason deal to become the Giants franchise quarterback. And I wish I could have asked him, does this mean Brian Daboll gets to keep the job?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Hit me, Trey. What do you think?
So I actually could see the Giants signing him to a multi-year contract because they're the Giants. Like I mean, they did that with Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones is so much worse than Russell Wilson. But you're talking to a Broncos fan and a Steelers fan who, in back-to-back years, saw the worst possible shell of Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my gosh, it's so funny because like you go through and it's like the Seahawks fans tried to tell us, and we're all hyped about Russell Wilson, and then you get through the first couple games and you're like, what is going on? What's wrong with this guy? And my wife, she's sitting there going, why is he holding on to the ball for so long? Just throw it. And then he goes to and so Broncos fans turn on him. Fast forward, he goes to the Steelers, and then the Steelers fans, they're same thing. They're like, oh, it's just because it was in Denver. Denver sucks. They have bad coaches. True, we did have bad coaching at the time, and then he goes out there and he sucks. And you see Steelers fans, I'm sure this is what it was like. You probably were hype on it at the beginning, and then as the season progressed, you're like, man, this is so frustrating to watch. And right now in training camp, I see so many Giants fans like all over online, and they're like, "Oh man, well, Denver and Pittsburgh, they don't have the coaches that we have, and they're so." There's something about Russell Wilson where people just have like all this hope that he is 2013 Russell Wilson, 2014 Russell Wilson, leading them to Super Bowls, and I'm just like, dude, yeah, I don't see that happening at all. Sorry, John. I'm sorry. We love you, man. But, Russell Wilson sucks, and you guys are going to find out this year.
There is nothing more painful in this life than watching Russ Wilson try to lead a 2-minute drive.
Oh, my gosh.
Dude, if you could have seen me in my living room watching him just hold on to the ball while guys are running open. Like, it's not like guys weren't open.
Yep.
Like, just holding, it's like he freezes and takes a sack. I mean, that just, it just burns and just eats away at your soul. And yeah, I was wanting Justin Fields to come in all last year. John, sorry, dude. It's Russ will be a good placeholder. If anything, it'll be Jameis Winston that signs that multi-year deal.
Oh, yeah.
Or Jackson Dart. Dart, I think Jackson Dart was a good prospect. I do like him, but Jameis is the man, dude.
Yeah, I love Jameis.
If you want fun football, Jameis Winston needs to start. And if you're a Giants fan and you're tired of losing, you want Jameis to start. Just because when you do lose, it will be exciting.
Yeah, I mean, throw for 500
that
yards.
Way it doesn't matter.
And
I mean,
if pick sixes.
Dude, I would take 3 seasons of Jameis Winston as a Steelers quarterback.
Oh my gosh,
just to have fun.
Yeah,
I remember that Browns-Broncos game last year.
Oh my gosh,
and watching him,
it was electric.
So
man, it's
and like he would make interceptions in the last 5 minutes.
He would make these incredible throws, like 70-yard touchdowns, and then 70-yard pick six, oh my gosh, that was such a game. That was such a game, man. I loved watching that game.
Yeah, I love it. But no, thank you, John, for submitting that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I hope that your Russell Wilson experience goes better than both mine and Trey's.
Yeah.
I'll just say that for you. So, all right, we are going to transition now into a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to hit contenders and pretenders. We're going to run through some teams, not every team, but about half the league, and try to see who's real and who's not.
Cool.
All right. All right, we are back. It is time to talk contenders, pretenders. Like I said, we are not going to go over some of the top teams. We don't need to talk about the Ravens and the Bills and the Chiefs and the Eagles. These are perennial contenders.
Chiefs are pretenders, though.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
No, in all reality,
we're going to talk more we're going to talk more middling teams, and we're not even going to talk about like the Saints or the Giants. You know, these are teams that are in obvious rebuilds. So we're going to stick to teams that could have a chance this year. And we're going to go rapid fire. We're going to try to go quick on each team so that we can get out of here at a decent time and watch some of this Hall of Fame game because I know we're ready.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with the Arizona Cardinals. Contender or pretender, Trey?
Ooh, that's a good one. Right off the bat. NFC is weak. I'll say contender.
Okay.
I'll say contender.
Okay.
I think Marvin Harrison's going to pick it up. I'm excited to Marvin Harrison Jr., sorry. Marvin Harrison's probably a little up there in age.
He's coming back.
Yeah. Making a comeback and play with his son.
I love what the Cardinals have done with their defense.
Yeah.
Beefing it up. I think that puts them into potential contender status because their defense has been so bad the last couple of years. But I'm going to say pretender. I'm going to say that Kyler Murray is not a very good quarterback. He's definitely kind of started sliding, and I saw some just terrible things with how they used Marvin Harrison Jr. I still think Marvin Harrison is a dog. But I don't think that the offense is going to use him the way in which he needs to be used. So I think it'll be another season of disappointment for Marvin Harrison Jr. I think they'll probably get close to being a playoff team, just like they were this year. But I'm going to say pretender.
Wow. Split on that one.
Split on that one. I like it. Green Bay Packers.
Pretender. Easy. We talked about this a little bit last week. Neither of us are Jordan Love guys.
Yeah.
He has he's just so inconsistent to me. You know, he has that game where he drops like 50 on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Or I know it's not just him, but you know, the Packers dropped like 50 on the Cowboys in that playoff game a couple of years ago. But then the other games they're scoring like, 13 points, and it's just too inconsistent for me. I think they got worse on defense, which only hurts their case to make it, any further than, 8-9 wins.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I could see them winning more games in the regular season just because of the way they play and they're well coached. However, they just seem to me like the biggest catfish team of all.
Yeah.
They're always in the top 10 of the overall power rankings. They always do well in the regular season. But then they get to the playoffs and they can't do anything. And I mean, they just look abysmal doing it. Like we've talked about before, they go into the offseason, they draft Matthew Golden as if finally they draft their first receiver in the first round in years, but they draft a trash receiver in the first round. What are we doing? Luther Burden was on the board. Even a guy like Jaden Higgins would have been more exciting than Matthew Golden. There are a lot of people who like Golden, and you can say what you want about my take on this, but I just don't think Matthew Golden's very good.
We'll see.
We will see. So I'm going to say pretender.
Yeah.
Houston Texans.
Contender.
Big contender.
Big contender. I think this is the year they take a step forward. Not just CJ Stroud, but the team. The team is overall better. Derek Stingley, man, he's a beast.
Yeah.
Earlier I said that I think Christian Gonzalez is the number 2 corner in the NFL. I think Stingley's probably he's top 5, probably 3 or 4 for me. Trent McDuffie is up there. Got to give my flowers to the Chiefs guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah, you have to. He's good. But yeah.
Make up for what you said last week.
Oh, no, I still believe what I said last week. The collapse is on.
For those of you who don't know, Trey was getting trashed on our first TikTok.
Oh, man.
For
Chiefs fans
on the Chiefs.
hate me.
So,
but that's what fandom is, right? I mean,
right.
you got to,
everybody's got a right to their own opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Texans are poised to be a better team. I think the only thing that concerns me right now is the Joe Mixon injury news because that really shakes up the running back room in a negative way.
But they're going to throw the ball
They're
so
going to
much.
launch the ball a lot, but that's going to cause them to be an imbalanced team. And that's the part that when you go deep into the playoffs, especially in the colder months, you do need to be more of a balanced team in ways, unless you're having a statistically outlier season passing wise, which they could. So,
but if you're the Texans, you hope Joe Mixon is back by that point.
And I hope so too. But with his age and, even if he comes back, the risk of re-injury is there.
Yeah.
You got Nick Chubb backing him up, which right now beat reporters are saying he's the fourth best running back on the team.
I believe that.
And so right now they're looking at J.J. Taylor and Woody Marks as like their potential like
don't know who they are
starter guys.
Yeah.
Woody Marks is a pass catching back. They're both pass catching backs. Really small guys. So they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. They're going to be an exciting team, and it's going to be interesting because their offense is going to be pass heavy because they can't run the ball, but then their defense is going to be stifling.
Yeah,
which is going to be really interesting to see.
Very interesting.
So Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, contender, big time. They I've told you this before, but last year they were actually my Super Bowl pick, and they were so close to beating. They were the closest to beating the Eagles in the playoffs by far.
And in the snow,
and
they're
in the
a
snow
dome team.
And they were in Philly, and they were so close to beating Philly. And if Puka brought that ball in, you'd be talking about the Rams winning that Super Bowl.
And that's no fault to Puka because that was a tough catch.
Yeah, it was a tough catch. Yeah, tough throw, tough catch. I mean, it just didn't go their way. But yeah, big time contender. I mean, Matt Stafford's got the back thing going on. Yeah. That can linger throughout the season. I mean, you just don't know what that's going to look like, but. Yeah, I'm a big Rams guy.
And he's 37, 38, something like that. I mean, it's getting close to the end for Matt. And so you're hoping that he can kind of find the magic one last time, or else you're looking in the face of Jimmy Garoppolo, which I know Devontae Adams is just so stoked to escape Las Vegas to return back into the loving arms of Jimmy G. Cincinnati Bengals.
Contender. They're contender to me. You can't ever count Joe Burrow out. Guy puts up 40 points a game, 35 points a game, whatever it is. If their defense is even serviceable, just okay. If they're okay, they're gonna be a problem. They can put up points on anybody, like any single team, like any defense that's out there.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think I want to call them a pretender because of how bad their defense is. But the offense is electric.
Yeah.
They could literally put up 45 against Philly, one of the best defenses in the NFL. So,
and they hang with the Ravens.
And they can hang with the Ravens. They usually, beat the Ravens.
Yeah, exactly.
So, the Bengals, even though their defense is atrocious, they will never be counted out of a game because of how good their offense is. And so you can never count them out, especially even last year. If they had gotten into the playoffs, I think there's a good chance they could have made the Super Bowl.
I think so too.
It was a weak AFC this past year. So here's a good one. Chicago Bears.
You go first. I got to get my thoughts together with this one.
So I've had a recent change of heart on this. I was a big Bears believer coming into the offseason just with all the changes. And, of course, they go and draft my guy, Luther. They also get Colston Loveland, who was my favorite tight end in the draft. But I'm going to actually say that they're more a pretender. I think people are jumping the shark on how good they're going to be year one.
Don't jump sharks.
Yeah, don't jump the shark. Don't jump the shark. We need to be patient. We need to give them time to instill the Ben Johnson system, whatever that looks like. They're more of a pretender for me, and they're in a very tough division. And so they would have to, literally, be really, really good.
I think they're still a year or two away,
but
they're close. I think they're putting all the pieces. They're putting the right pieces in the right places, but. You got to talk about cohesion at some point. You just have to do it for long enough with the same group. And you look at the Lions, same division. They've been a group for how long? A bunch of those same guys have been there. So I think they just need time. But I think they're on the way. They're almost a contender.
Yeah. All right, we're staying in the division.
Go.
Minnesota Vikings.
You gotta say contender. Well, I might be changing my mind. I might be changing my mind right now.
Oh, I'm changing live on air.
Yeah, live
on air.
Oh no. JJ McCarthy is a big question mark, and we talked about it last week. He passes the eye test, but we haven't seen him in anything more than a preseason game. That is the closest thing that we've seen him to NFL football. So without him taking a snap, unless he is just a freak on the field, You got to say pretender. Their defense is good. That's the one thing. They got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. They have the right weapons, but your biggest question mark is quarterback. So got to say pretender for now.
Everything's there for them to succeed. It all lays on the shoulders of J.J. McCarthy, just like you said. And I'm with you. I think people are, once again, jumping the shark on J.J., assuming that he's just going to fit in because Kevin O'Connell is very good with quarterbacks. He resurrected Sam Darnold's career. And that's, good arguments. It's not bad arguments. I really think that Kirk Cousins was, pretty overrated as a player. And a lot of his numbers are attributed to Kevin O'Connell's system and the receivers around him.
I was going to say, like you said, Justin Jefferson made him a lot of money.
Justin Jefferson made him a lot of money.
Owes him some
and
money. So
JJ doesn't have to be incredible. He just has to be decent, and that's yet to be seen. So I'll say pretender for now. That could easily change. Like, my mind will definitely change week 1. But we also see that players, especially rookies coming in that missed their first year, are set back a lot.
Right.
And it takes a lot for them to come back in.
Plus the injury. Like,
that's right.
We're not even talking about the injury yet.
Right.
Like, you don't know how close he is to 100% right now.
And he wasn't that good of a passer in college. He was, a game manager, and they ran the ball like 50 times a game. So anyway, I'm not jumping out over my skis for JJ yet. And I could be wrong, but that's just how I am.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys.
Pretender. They're in a tough division.
Yeah.
They have the Super Bowl champs, and they have the Commanders that met the Super Bowl champs in the NFC Championship. Yeah. They would have to take a major step defensively, I think, in order to hang with the big boys. I think offensively they're going to be really fun. Your running back is a question mark. We talked about this a lot already, but you got a good receiving core. You got CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens and Jake Ferguson. You have all those guys. So I think offensively they'll be good, but I don't trust the defense enough to stop the Commanders or the Eagles from plowing through them.
I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna say contender.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. So when thinking about it, this is a similar bet that we have to the Bengals. But they actually have Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs. Even though I think Trayvon Diggs is an overrated, overpaid corner, I don't think he's a very good corner. He just is a good playmaker. Micah Parsons is top 3 best pass rusher in the NFL right now. Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, Micah Parsons.
You don't think Micah Parsons is past? I kind of think he's kind of on the decline.
I don't think he's been voted for Defensive Player of the Year in the last couple of years. So anyway, I think that offense is going to be really, really good this year.
Yeah.
I think with
as long
George
as
Pickens,
Dak stays healthy.
I said this last week. I think George Pickens is going to have a career year. I think everybody's going to see that George Pickens was way more than what we saw in Pittsburgh.
And I would hope so. Like, he's had trash quarterbacks.
Totally. He still put up good numbers with what he had. Now you get Dak. If Dak can stay healthy, I think they have a chance to be one of these teams that can contend. If they just get into the playoffs, they can make a run just because of how good their offense is.
Right.
So let's move on to the Chargers. Let's not be biased here.
Okay. So we probably should have done this at the beginning. So contender is somebody who could make a Super Bowl run, yeah?
Yeah, we're just thinking of teams that could get into the playoffs and has a chance.
Pretender.
Okay.
Pretender. The Chargers they feel like the same team that I've seen for like the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Like every single year they're good enough to make the playoffs, and that's it. Like end of story right there. And I think it's going to be the same thing. They didn't do anything. If anything, I think they got worse on offense. And their defense is going to be the same. They're getting older. You have Derwin James. Like he's definitely like past his prime, I would say. I'm trying not to be biased here. I really am, but I just like truthfully don't see how the Chargers could make it to the Super Bowl with like the other AFC teams. Yeah. So
I'll say contender.
Okay.
I think that Jim Harbaugh is a very good coach. I think
he is
something that
definitely
Los Angeles has lacked for a while. the big question mark is, seeing Herbert in those big games. Can he get over the hump? Because he hasn't really done much in those bigger games, but they've had a weaker team, and he's kind of carried them. So it'll be interesting to see. I do think that they added good pieces, like going and getting Trey Harris. I think Trey Harris is going to be really good this year on the offense. I know Marion Hampton is going to be sick on that offense, and so the defense. I think I think they got some work to do on the defense, but Jim Harbaugh can get a lot more out of his players than what they bring to the table, and so I can see him contending. Miami Dolphins, you wanted to talk about them.
Yeah. They are pretenders for sure. For sure. Tyreek Hill is a shell of himself. Jalen Waddle, I love Jalen Waddle, man. But he's the only thing you've got, really. They got Devon Achane, or Achane. I can't remember how you say that.
He doesn't like Achane. It's Achane.
But he's so good. He's so good. But that's it. We talked about earlier how they have no corners now, and they traded away their best corner for a safety that's no good. So, they're pretenders in my eyes.
I feel the same. I think the team is needing a lot of help in a lot of different positions. I still think we could see the offense once again regress, but in a positive way, because last year was just such a weird year for them. I don't think Tyreek Hill is completely washed. I think if Jalen Waddle can stay healthy, that opens up a lot of the passing game for them. I think Achane could be the best running back in the league, potentially.
That's a hot take.
That is. And I don't want to steal somebody else will have that hot take, but I agree with him. That's my guy. I will shout you out soon, my guy. But anyway, I think the offense could be good. I just think the defense is lacking some things, and I'm not very enthused.
Yeah.
So let's keep running fast. So San Fran 49ers.
Pretenders.
I'll say contenders.
Woo!
Yeah, I'll say contenders. I'm flipping each week. I still think they can do it.
They're losing offensive and defensive weapons. I think.
I think they built up the defense in the draft pretty decently. The offense, they definitely lost some players, but if anybody can make the most out of it, it's Kyle Shanahan. Washington Commanders.
They're contenders.
Yeah.
You don't make the NFC Championship and you're not a contender.
Yeah.
They only got better. Through the draft and through their offseason moves, they're going to be a team. They're going to be a fun, exciting team this year, and I think they're going to beat a lot of other teams. So I think they're contenders for sure.
Depending on Jaden Daniels, year 2, we saw Kyler Murray with Cliff Kingsbury. Year 1, and Kyler Murray was dominant, but then teams figured out how Cliff was calling the offense. I think it'll be really interesting to see if teams can figure out Jaden. And they were playing a very simple offense last year. I'm going to say pretender.
Whoa.
I'm going to say they kind of, I won't say they completely fall off, but I think they will have a lot more issues this year.
Oh, speaking of the Commanders, Terry McLaurin?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Terry requested a trade earlier.
Yeah. Right before we started this podcast, I looked at my phone and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy."
I'm going to call it right now, live on air. Terry McLaurin, you are a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Woo!
Just saying.
You think?
Omar likes making deals.
I
think we got plenty of picks.
So the Broncos just signed Cortland Sutton to $92 million, $23 million a year. My first thought was, okay, that's awesome. This takes him right up to the end of Bo Nix's contract. After that they can get past it, whatever, yada, yada. My second thought right after that was, this is going to basically set the bar. Terry McLaurin is better than Cortland Sutton. I think that. I think he's had a more productive career with less. I'm concerned about their side of things. Adam Peters over there in Washington, obviously they're not getting getting all of this done, but now you are looking at that's your bar, $23 million a year, and you probably wanted to pay him $20 million a year or whatever it was, and so now he's probably saying, "Hey, I'm better than Court. I need 30." or
Right.
whatever it is. And, you're going to have to pay him that, or you're going to have to let him walk. And then today we kind of see the result of all of those negotiations.
And I still think that he'll sign with Washington.
You think?
A lot of players do request trades, especially during offseason, because they're trying to negotiate their deal.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably more of what this
Franchise
is.
him or something, maybe.
Yeah, I think that the Cortland Sutton deal would be perfect for Terry, because I do think that they're similar bets. Maybe a little bit more for Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Terry is like standing that he doesn't want any less than like $40 million more than what Cortland got. Like,
Yeah.
he wants a lot more.
Yeah.
And I think with Jaden Daniels on a rookie contract, you got to do it. You know, you got to keep
pay your guys.
paying your guys.
Yep.
So yeah,
Especially, and you got to talk to Jaden too. Say, is this your guy?
Yeah.
Like, is this your guy? Because I'm sure that's what they did with Bo and Court. Like,
Right.
And they talk about it all the time. They're like, the players on the Broncos, they say, oh, when you see Bo throwing it to Court, you just know it's a touchdown. Like, you just know that's going to happen. If they have that connection, Jaden to Terry, like, you got to talk to your guy. You got
Terry's
to talk
a
to
big
your
reason
franchise, your franchise quarterback, and ask him about it. And then if he says yes, you pull the trigger, you write the check.
Jaden Daniels wasn't Jaden Daniels without a Terry.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm with you. Next team we've got is the Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos. You go. You go ahead.
I'm gonna say pretender, dude. They're
Whoa.
pretending.
Yeah.
Let me answer honestly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say pretender.
Okay.
For now, and this is because I want to see Bo Nix do it 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
I do think the defense is building up. Especially adding Jahdae Barron, Dre Greenlaw,
Talanoa Hufanga.
How do you say it?
Talanoa Hufanga.
That guy.
Yeah.
I think the defense is going to be really good. I still think
RJ Harvey.
Yeah, and I love RJ Harvey. I think the receiving options are kind of interesting, and I'm wondering how that's going to play out. And they're in a very tough division.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little more bearish on them than
That's
most.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. And I think that's where a lot of people should be.
Yeah.
Like, obviously I'm biased, so I'm going to
Yeah.
I'm like every day I'm like looking in like what happened. Like Troy Franklin apparently is tearing up camp.
Troy Franklin, that dude's a dog.
Yeah.
Dude.
But he put on like 10 or 15 pounds.
Did he?
Yeah, and so
he was skinny as a bean.
yeah,
so,
my gosh, I
yeah.
was worried every time he got tackled that he was going to break in half. But yeah, apparently he's catching everything that's coming his way, which, if he takes that step, he's already Bo's guy,
Yeah.
and from college. So, I think genuinely, like, this is me just having knowledge of the team. Like, I think they're a contender. Will I think they win the Super Bowl? No. Like, or do I think that? No, I don't think that. But I think that they could surprise a lot of people. I think they actually could win a couple playoff games.
And there's a chance.
Yeah, there's a chance.
Yeah.
So
that's a hard one because I feel like it could be both ways. Like,
Yeah.
I could see both. Next team we got is the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah. I'm going to say contender again because the NFC is weak.
Yeah.
They're weak. They have a couple like powerhouse teams in the NFC and then like nothing after that. Like after like those first like three teams or so, like I would say then, it's anybody's game to, make the playoffs.
I'll follow right along. I'm going to say contender.
Yeah.
I see that offense taking a big step forward this year with Penix.
You think the Broncos or the Falcons are better?
I think probably the Broncos, but I think the Falcons are in an easier division, an easier conference. Yeah. They have a lot less to run through.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
So I could see that offense being better, and they added those pass rushers in the draft, which
They
very
needed
excited
them.
about both
Holy
of
cow,
them.
they needed them.
And they needed them bad. And so I think they're really pushing to contend, and I think they got a pretty good team to do so. Jacksonville Jaguars,
Pretender.
Big
time.
I think that's
time.
I think they'll be better than they have been, but they're still not there yet.
Yeah, Houston's a big dog in that division, obviously. I think they can make the playoffs, but they're very similar to the Chargers in my eyes. And like they can make the playoffs and then, they can beat the Chargers in the playoffs but do nothing else. Like that's that's what I think.
All right, Seattle Seahawks.
I'm going to say contender.
Woo!
I'm gonna say contender. They got kind of a stifling defense, and McDonald, he's a good coach. I think he's good. Sam Darnold seems to be, picking it up. If he can do anything remotely close to what he did last year in Minnesota, I think that they could be really fun to watch. And we keep saying it, but the NFC's kind of weak. They have a lot less to get through. Put them in the AFC, I would say pretender. I would teeter on the side of pretender, but I'm going to say contender.
I'm going to go with pretender. I think they're more in a rebuild. I still think they'll be better than most people may think. But I just don't believe in Sam Darnold. I think Jalen Milroe will get a lot of play this year.
Wow.
I think Kenneth Walker will be a dog this year.
Yeah, he's so good.
But, I mean, their receiving options are very thin.
JSN?
JSN is great. I love JSN.
Yeah.
They've got what's left of Cooper Kupp, which he could surprise. But, yeah, I don't see them being one of those teams this year. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. I'm gonna say contender. I'm gonna say contender with the caveat of if Aaron Rodgers can look anything like what he looked in the last couple games last year, then I could see it. I mean, you guys always have such a good defense, and you just need a serviceable quarterback to get you to the playoffs. You see it with Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges, right? You see that happening all time and time again. So, I mean, they're gonna win 9 games, 10 games at least, and I think they'll make the AFC playoffs. So all you have to do is make it, and then anything can happen. I mean, you look the 7-9 Giants, right?
Right. If I'm being totally honest, I'm saying pretender.
Wow.
I think we're a pretender.
But last week you said Super Bowl.
Well, that was my hot take.
That was a hot take.
I can give my hot take, dude, and then I can be reasonable.
But being realistic,
Being realistic, I just don't think – I think they've made a lot of moves to contend, which I think is good. I think they'll make the playoffs. But you just look at the AFC, and it's so many young, good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. That's some of the top 4 out of 5 quarterbacks in the entire NFL. C.J. Stroud, Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
And that's 6 teams right there. And so if they squeak into the playoffs, you got 41, 42-year-old Rodgers, and maybe he can turn back the clock. I just don't see it. So let's talk about these two really quick. We already talked about Tampa Bay. I think we feel like they're both pretenders.
Yeah.
Yep. And so Carolina's the last team. Contender, pretender.
I think they're a year away from doing anything. So I'm going to say pretender for now, but I like what they're building in Carolina. I really do. Yeah. I think, you give Bryce another year, give those young receivers another year to really come into their own. And I could see it. I could see as early as next year, them honestly even overtaking the Falcons, where we just call them contenders. I think they could be in that spot next year.
Love it. Yep, I'm right there. I still think their defense has some work that needs to be done. I think the offense is going to take a huge step this year. Watch out for T-Mac. T-Mac is going to surprise a lot of people, and he's going very late in fantasy drafts for a guy who was drafted top 10. Yeah. So, buy shares. But yeah, that's contenders, pretenders. And that's pretty much all we've got for this episode. Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
That is a wrap for this episode number 2. Thank you guys all for tuning in. You can follow me on Twitter at bigsquishyboi, BOI. You can follow Trey on Twitter at Trey_Bailey, or you can follow Fan Feed Network on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere pretty much. YouTube, we're putting out videos weekly for now. Once the season starts, we'll have 2 videos a week.
2 podcasts a week.
Yeah, 2 podcasts per week for you guys to enjoy. And thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.
Peace.
Welcome to the show. We're bringing the heat. No suits, no scripts, just takes from the street. Every week we break down the squads. Real fans. This is the Fan Feed.